The day Flint the lava monster learned to cool down. Have you ever felt so frustrated or angry that you just wanted to stomp your feet and roar? Have you ever had a hot head and didn't know how to make it feel better? Deep inside a rumbling volcano where the air was always warm and the ground was made of obsidian, lived a little monster named Flint. Flint wasn't a mean monster. He was just a very hot monster. When he was happy, he glowed a warm, friendly orange. But when Flint got frustrated or angry, his skin would turn a brilliant, fiery red. Smoke would puff from his ears, and the top of his head would bubble and crackle like hot lava. The ground around him would rumble, and a little spark would even fly out. His friends, the shy crystal creatures and the giggling moss sprites, would quickly scamper away and hide when Flint started to bubble. They loved playing with him when he was a calm, warm orange, but they were afraid of his lava moments. Flint didn't like being a lava monster, but he just didn't know how to stop the heat from rising. He felt lonely and misunderstood, wishing his emotions didn't push his friends away. One sunny morning, Flint was building the most magnificent rock tower he had ever seen. He had been planning it all week, carefully selecting each smooth black stone and stacking it with precision. It was a masterpiece of balance and patience. It stood taller than he did, almost finished. But just as he was about to put the final glittering crystal on top, a gust of wind swirled by, a quick, mischievous breeze that knocked his tower over. Crash! The tower, which had taken hours to build, wobbled and then collapsed. Rocks tumbled everywhere, the final crystal rolling into a dark crevice. Flint felt the heat rise instantly. His skin flared bright red. Smoke streamed from his ears, and his little lava top began to bubble furiously. "Grrr!" he roared, his voice trembling with frustration, letting out a small, hot spark. The crystal creatures shivered and hid behind a big rock. The moss sprites giggled nervously and scattered. Flint stomped his foot so hard the ground trembled. He felt so hot, so big, and so ready to stomp everything in sight. Just then, an ancient, wise cave bear named Baba emerged from a nearby cave. Baba had fur as dark as the night sky and eyes that sparkled with wisdom. She didn't flinch at Flint's bubbling. "My dear Flint," she rumbled, her voice calm and deep, "it seems you're having a very hot day." Flint grumbled, "My tower is ruined. The wind is mean. I'm so angry." His lava top bubbled faster. Baba nodded slowly. "Anger is like a hot fire, little one. It can burn brightly. But you can learn to tend that fire instead of letting it burn out of control." She pointed a claw to a small, calm pool of water nearby. "When your lava starts to bubble, try this. Take 3 slow, deep breaths. Imagine you are filling your tummy with cool cave air and then slowly letting the smoke out." Flint scoffed. "Breathe? That won't stop the fire." But his bubbling was making his head feel dizzy. He was so uncomfortable, he decided to try. He took a deep, shaky breath, imagining cool, crisp air filling his chest. Then he slowly let it out and felt a tiny bit of smoke leave his ears. He took another and another. His fiery red skin began to cool, slowly turning back to a warm orange. The bubbling on his head slowed, and the rumbling in the ground quieted. The crystal creatures peeked out. The moss sprites stopped giggling and looked at him with curious eyes. "Now," Baba continued, "when you feel a little cooler, ask yourself, what can I do next? Not to get angrier, but to help. Can you rebuild your tower? Can you ask for help?" Flint looked at his scattered rocks. He was still a little warm, but the intense heat was gone. He picked up one smooth black stone. He could rebuild it. He felt a quiet determination. A few days later, a giggling moss sprite accidentally tripped and landed on his foot. Flint felt the familiar heat rise, but he stopped. He took a deep breath and calmly moved his foot, helping the sprite up. His friends cheered softly, and Flint felt a glow of pride that was far better than any fiery anger. From that day on, Flint still got frustrated, and sometimes his skin would turn a little red. But when he felt the bubbling start, he remembered Baba's words. He would take 3 slow, deep breaths and then ask himself, "What can I do next?" He learned that anger was a powerful feeling, but it didn't have to control him. He could choose to cool down, think, and find a solution. He was still Flint the lava monster, but now he was Flint the lava monster who knew how to manage his heat with a calm heart and a clear mind. And that's the end of this wonderful adventure. For maximum educational benefits, be sure to run our full playlist.